Welcome back to my lovely HP community and the 5D collective. So, we have some lovely messages for our solstice from yesterday, and our holiday ascending energies are coming about. We will have a couple of the ones that I did plan for tomorrow instead of today, but in the meantime, if you're new, welcome aboard. And Mystic here, Empowered Feminine here. So we spot the destroyer, masculine and feminine, who are insecurely attached human beings out there that are not tending to their obviously healing. And that's because they're leading with fear, vengeance, ego, and follow 3D-4D around. Okay, so while we don't want to talk about groups in any way of it being good and bad, because it's not, as they follow the law, what I'm going to let you in on a fun fact is 3D-4D don't know true love, because non-securely attached individuals from inside their body don't know how to actively have a heart-to-heart, face-to-face, and true conversation. It's like if you're being a dick, like Cusco to Pacha, okay, even at the end, Cusco still lies. That's not impressive. So those are feminines and masculines who are unimpressive and who are destroyers, quote unquote. They can't destroy the planet, but their mind isn't bilaterally integrated. Their brain, excuse me. So they don't use their mind. They don't own their mind. They don't own their heart. They don't own anything. But we know from Robert Sapolsky determined, there's no free will. I know from God that there is. And then I know from Dr. Daniel Siegel and all these smart therapists and neuroscientists that yes, people can heal from their personality disorders and their childhood trauma. But like Patrick Tiahan points out, there's a lot of them who don't. And so, again, in 5D land, we are the securely attached people here at HP. And that's why mindfulness, mindset practices is what we love to do. So here's what came through for my lovely 5D collective. Again, you are securely attached or you pursue it. You are self-empowered, enlightening, mindful mystics and people. You know that intimacy, love, and romance have no drama, no suffering, no unrequitedness, because if you and I aren't compatible, it's not unrequited. It's I will witness and process the emotions that arise, thoughts that arise in my prefrontal cortex as I'm a mindfully living person, and I'm also spiritually in my case, and so I already know about forgiveness, and I know how to actively process the emotion in the time it takes for me to process and heal, because healing is not because I'm broken. It's called me learning how to, no, I consistently do safe haven, secure base. I'm self-regulating my nervous system. In my prefrontal, I get to do that and say, hey, body, we're physically safe. Hey, body, these are called emotions. Hey, body, these are called thoughts. And here's the inner growth mindset. So love and romance, again, they only can come if you're meeting an empowered masculine or an empowered feminine. The distorted ones who are destroyers, they do this. They have their unfinished business together. Some go and get Terry Real and Patrick Tiahan. Some, they just make their unfinished business, Squirrel from Cusco Land and Pinocchio relationship and the low self-esteem with trauma continue. Okay, so when you see people who want to continue with their relationship in a toxic way, it's not like you're going to go and say, hey, let me chime in. It's none of your business. That's very not necessary. And the only ones who go around telling each other what to do like that are adaptive child part people who, again, need Terry Real. They don't know healthy self-worth at all, because otherwise they'd know that they don't go and impose on somebody anything about healing. Okay, so 5D, again, we love to be ourselves with flaws and integrity. We will pursue it if you're not that. Okay, we know how to and pursue embodying and experiencing true love with self and others. We also know and pursue loving and living mindfully, spiritually, as again an empowered, self-regulating person and or mystic in your state of safety nervous system response. Enjoying integrated brain life thanks to daily inner growth mindset, mindfulness practices, mindset skills. Enjoying and pursuing restorative embodiment. Growing awe in sharing your infinite higher human conscious life with self and others. Loving to love, live, laugh, learn, and not cast stones. Loving to chuckle and flow every day more from the mind, heart, body, self, and that's mindfully and or spiritually again of you. Enlightening yourself thanks to gain knowledge and wisdom with a consilience approach. Embodying unconditional love with yourself and sharing it with others. Knowing coherence, magnetism, and bliss thanks to self-awareness, accountability, and regulation. The 5D collective way. So we also know that intimacy, love, and romance, again, they have no drama, suffering, or unrequitedness, because intimacy, love, and romance happen only when you have an emotionally mature and available masculine and or feminine. And we have both, but you'll know who your counterparts are. You know how life partners work and true loves work. True love and partnership is I talk to face, I talk to heart, I know vulnerability and pure intentions consistently over time. This happens even when we're in a societal and or a relational group, okay? So we know how to maintain our non-reactive social engagement nervous system when we're around other people. We don't get dysregulated based on the environment. You own the sense of self. So you have integration again of the brain. That's thanks to mindfulness, mindsight, and mindset. In the moment, practices and your volition of being I'm myself mindfully or spiritually. So you know how to speak from your heart without being afraid of being your true self. Even if you get rejected or ridiculed, you're going to stay in your non-reactivity because you do not have a sensitive ego, okay? And so you love to navigate that thread to your vessel. That's the insula, and so your heart, and that's why the non-reactivity is okay with you. And to speak vulnerably from it. As an empowered woman, I can tell you that growing up, it's been amazing because I'm not the 16-year-old with my nervous system. I'm Maria as Maria from my 16-year-old, but she's asleep, the child parts. It's your higher self. So you'll notice the difference of your emotional maturity as you are. It's not necessary to call it sovereign. You're also not going to be alone and be sovereign. You don't do sovereignty in any way, shape, or form with emotions if you don't have family. Diego, Manny, Sid, okay, and you're Pacha with Diego, Manny, Sid, and Cusco's. So it's bullshit statements. When you see the people who think that being alone is how you're going to get coherent, they're 3D-4D. They are choosing a journey that allows them to stay in a body like that fancy woman in a suit that is reactive. Okay, so we love to invest in truly loving and authentic relationships, which is why we choose love and romance with securely attached, self-empowered, enlightening, mindful, spiritual mystics and people. They have integrity. They're authentic and they know honesty without fear like we do because they're not afraid to tell us what they think, what they feel, but also to take ownership. If they've been a dick and unkind, they'll say, hey, guess what? This shit came up. And those who are healing will know how to talk about their maladaptive patterns and how they're fixing that, as well as the adaptive child stuff with a good therapist. So you and they work together. Again, that's why the relational field is important for the ones who are healing to find healthy self-worth partners and long-term ones. So we spot the imbalanced masculine and feminine who have insecure attachment patterns of behavior, unresolved, unhealed, and ignored, dysregulated adaptive child and maladaptive patterns, trust breaks and charges, since they lead with insecurity, fear, vengeance, non-bilateral integration, and blind ego. We know the 3D-4D collective doesn't build authentic, truly loving, honest relationships with us. And so in this case, this is why we share a recalibrating with ourselves as we're engaging with them, okay? Because you don't build a loving, genuine relationship if you cannot speak your heart's truth, which you can't if you don't have your higher self on the line. So fear of rejection, abandonment, injustice, betrayal, humiliation, and or shame, we got a masculine or feminine that are destroyers. They're distorting things like my facade friend, and you got their teenager in the room. You got a Cusco. You don't build relationships or life from authenticity with a harboring resentment, again, harboring any dysregulation, envy, jealousy, spite. These are low self-esteem emotions. These are emotions that can be tended to with a good therapist and get yourself securely attached. 3D-4D collective, they're going to continue doing what they're doing, and we won't be telling them, hey, you have to go get your childhood stuff or your trust break. Healthy self-worth boundaries are I'm going to spot that you are distancing me, that you're doing this, that you're doing that. I'm going to spot that you close your heart. I'm going to leave it alone because I'm the empowered feminine. So anyone in the 5D collective knows how to, again, love the secure attachment functional adult way because you be you and I be me. I'm going to be mindful and flawed with integrity, and you're going to be who you have chosen. If you stay in your 3D-4D, insecurely attached, non-bilaterally integrated brain, and you're a Cusco, I'm going to love you anyways. But you won't be a partner of mine because you can't. You're not securely attached. You're not a figure that is reliable. You're going to change it up when you're in a room. You're going to change up shit. You're not going to ever do any of what is of that 5D collective that I'm talking to you about. Okay, so some people want it to happen. Some wish it would happen. Others make it happen. Michael Jordan. the love and romance. It only happens with securely attached, self-empowered, enlightening, mindful mystics and or people. And that's why the empowered feminine here can tell you all about the oversoul. It's amazing. Any empowered feminine will not have the let me look to the past and say how tragic it is that I am me. It will be, I am amazed every day more like the jaguar, because the empowered feminine is never prey, like the essence of the jaguar. The tiger, I don't have a dark side. I don't get structurally dissociated. I don't have an amygdala working. I got a prefrontal working. I got a bilaterally integrated brain that spots a liar like a hawk. I've been learning how to spot them since I was a teenager. Today I'm a grown-up who knows trauma. Trauma some more trauma. I mean, I'm not going to, again, do anything about it. I was informed of how it works. And also, this is the part. It's the people who are either going to say, I want to be myself and I truly want to love, or not. You don't force a person to choose love. They are going to be the ones who choose it. And as Stephen Porges points out, the cue of safety has been given by the empowered feminine, is how I'm going to bring it to you. Because my state of safety is online. As I tend my hand to you, offer you true heart-to-heart, face-to-face, do you trust me kind of deal. And you, instead, in return, treat and provide me with Cusco attitude. And nowhere do you ever notice it. No, you can notice it. Hurt people, they don't hurt empowered feminines because we don't have sensitive egos. We spot the people, and today with trauma and attachment information, again, and determined, I have to share with you all the cues to safety. It's either welcoming and you're going to build a genuine relationship, but that's if they're securely attached or want it. If they don't, it's not anything different than whatever it is. They're 0 8-year-old, like my facade friend. So people will show themselves for who they are when they're with men, women with women, with their home, with all of it. And you want to be just aware that it's something that you don't have a conversation. My facade friend taught me how to spot it. And from that day forth, again, I thank him every day because I got to know how not to use my time. The empowered feminine has the capacity to continue to embody love. Oh, and we don't get lost in stories. So we're going to continue that one. But meantime, true love, it lasts a lifetime. It's easy, not hard. You become more of yourself. You lift each other up. And when you have noticed that something has been recalibrated, you will process it and you'll know, because here's where: 1, God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, blind faith. 2, mystic here. Okay, so the entire oversoul. You all know I'm an Akashic record reader, and all those past lives and all those future stuff. Not the future life, I know. So with that being said, a empowered feminine 5D mystic can let you all know, and if you're an empowered feminine, then you already know this. We know every step of the way how amazing it is for encounter all of our oversoul members. So the masculines and feminines who are not empowered are not our business to educate. They are not our children. They're not our babies, like actual babies. So I'm not going to self-regulate, teach you. I'm co-regulating, and I decide to stay in my state of safety. You co-regulate if you want in your state of safety, and if you're reactive to it, I now know how to recalibrate so that I can ensure to leave you all the space you want and in fact disengage from making you uncomfortable, because I now know that you are afraid to love, which means you don't want a genuine, authentic, grown-up relationship. You just want whatever it is that 0 8-year-old and teenager has decided they want to. Okay, so again, we'll be back with more in the meantime. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful day.